Okay, so my title is quite long, and if I knew that, well, I thought it would be read out, and then I was quite worried about it, but you can read it on here. It's a bachelor thesis, so it doesn't really have any empirical work, but rather it's the foundations for the empirical work that's going to be carried out in the next 2 years. It doesn't have any actual computation to it or any difficult mathematics to it, so it's a great chance for everybody to just chill back from the difficult things and have a chat to me. So what we're trying to do is combine a few concepts. So the first one is the idea of a buzzword, consciousness. There is, of course, no definition of what it is. We have no idea what it is. But, to get published and funding, you need the buzzword. So we tried to reduce it to a few things that we feel are actually relevant. Then the second idea that we take is we will subscribe as neuroscientists to the physicalism thesis, so that consciousness or anything else that you might connect to higher cognitive function is actually in the brain rather than somewhere else in the air or delivered to us by some form of magic. And the third argument is the various philosophical points that you have, and the famous one is the Chinese room one. That's neat thought experiments describing that the fact that you have some sort of behavior doesn't mean that you have any sort of understanding. We tried to put all of this together to say that, boom, if you have biologically accurate AI, it's kind of hard to make an argument that if it's perfectly concise and perfectly repeated, it will not be conscious. Even though we can talk about it and we don't say that it's impossible, but when you try to deliver this to policymakers, they kind of find it hard to argue against this idea. So again, boom, funding. And we also define various concepts that might be kind of partitioned to biologically accurate AI. And the point is that we're trying to solve is when you have these things, it's quite hard to argue that it has the potential for having feelings and emotions, how do you deal with it? So I got interested in this because I watched one too many robot movies, but I also felt that all of them kind of tried to say that robots will kill the universe and we need to protect the humans, but none of them actually addressed the question of what if you need to protect the robots. So Stephen Hawking made also this buzzy phrase of the development of full artificial intelligence could spell the end of the human race. And we're taking the opposite side of things of how do we protect the robot race? What will it have in terms of policy implication? How do you actually take a robot and put him in prison if it does something wrong? Or how do you give it bonus points if it does something really, really well? So it's a work in progress. And right now it has different directions, and one of the biggest ones I'm working on is public perception. I'm trying to actually deliver this message to the people. So in case you want to have a heated discussion on robot rights and why they might not be the worst thing that will happen to us, please come to my poster and I'll welcome your ideas. Thank you.